Live. Make sure. Viewing channel. Checking things out. Channel. Yep, we're good. Checking things out. Good morning. Welcome to Coffee and Resales. My name is Ryan. I get stuff from yard sales, garage sales, thrift stores, and various similar venues. Trying to make a few extra bucks online. This morning, I'm in the South. Middle of summer. I just sold a snowsuit. I picked it. Yeah. Okay. Story behind that. Anyway, picked up this. What is it? Vintage. Like this is like a 90s snowsuit. Maybe early 2000s. Old enough to call it vintage. Vintage UPC snowsuit, size extra large. Hooded. Navy. America colors. It would have fit me, except I don't ski because it's cold. I'm a lowlander from South Louisiana who saw snow 3 times in my entire life, and I'm over 40. Okay, maybe 5 times in my entire life. I don't know what to do with stuff. I'm here in Georgia now, and I went to yard sale one day, and they had that snowsuit for $2. I think it was that cheap. Maybe it was 10, but I think it was like $2 or $5. It was cheap enough. I was like, okay, whatever. And that was 6 months ago. It was not the winter when I bought it. It wasn't cold. And so I snagged it and I put it up for sale, and it sold $42 the other day. Okay, it's a snowsuit. I don't know what to do with those things. Here's what I do with books. Reasonable sales weekend. 8 total sales counting the snowsuit. Which is out. That's either going to be like really easy to pack or like a pain in the rear end. It may just depend on box size. And 2 of them were like listed and sold real quick. So let's jump into that. What we got sold. All right. Let's go down the line here. Okay. Those will go last. This book, in like any printing sells, old, new, whatever. The Noah Webster's American Spelling Book. This is from 62. I think there's some modern reprints of it, and the really old ones sell for a lot. Was this America's first spelling book? Maybe. There's a whole story about Webster and how he like dropped a bunch spelling really wasn't a standardized thing almost up until Webster. And then he's like he like forced it on American education or something like that. And there's a bunch of good and bad about what Webster did if you're kind of into any educational history. But this is a spelling book, and this dropped the U's from the British spelling of everything that were useless because the British, and they spelled plow like pluff and instead of OW, and this corrects all the ways the British are getting it wrong because we're American. So yeah, 250th anniversary, somebody bought American Spelling Book for $15. America. Yeah. All right. Next up. No idea what this book's about, but it's 10 book called An Affair of Dishonor. This is a really pretty old book. Good binding, clean. So this went for $15. It was one of my early listings, but it flipped. That's fine. Let's see. Next up is Where's this? Right there. Yeah. This was a quick sale. The next two were actually pretty quick sales. I think I listed these Friday, end of the week, Thursday, Friday, into the last week. This first one, 1904 works of Edgar Allan Poe. 4 out of like 30 of these. 4 of these went for $15. These are $3 to $4 a piece. I think if they were in better shape, they maybe go closer to $6 a piece. But if you run into a random lot of these aren't even in order. This is 2, 5, 6, and 10 of the set. Sold for $15 and sold pretty quick too. I think I had them start I think I had it where I wanted $19.99 for them, and I set my buy it now to somebody offered me $15 to take it, and somebody offered me $15 and took it. So I'm cool with that. Vintage 93 arithmetic. Not that one. Okay. I'm going to use this as an example because I think I got to go digging for that other one. Yes, I got to go dig for that other one. I really hope I didn't ship somebody the wrong book. Something real similar to this. It was the Upton Arithmetic School Textbook, grade 4. It's just an old vintage school book and math book that it's one of those couple of series that sell well, and I gotta make double sure I didn't ship somebody the wrong one, or I just gotta dig it out. But I gotta do a quick review. See if it's not on top here somewhere. There it is. Cool. So yeah, that baby right there. This one's Upton Arithmetic grade 4. Back to that story. In my big $3,500 book haul, there were about 2 bins full of old elementary, middle school textbooks. And there's very specific ones that resell. I mean, out of the 200 or so of those books, maybe 20 were worth listing, maybe. But they were like, there's a very certain sets that are very consistent sellers. That Upton book's one of them. So, and I may need to kind of revisit some of them and see if there's any other, but they're all like $10 to $15 books. None of them are really crazy. But it's like the rest of the thing is 3,500 books. A little over 10% of them have been worth listing, but I think but it's going to turn out really well. So, next, onto the more expensive stuff that happened. That for 42. All right, these two. Theological Institutes by, I think it's Richard Watson. Yeah, Richard Watson. They're Thomas Watson. They go for a lot more. Thomas Watson's a more prominent theologian. These are by Richard Watson. Don't know who he is. But this pair, $50 for these two. So, and little bit, these kind of got separated somehow in the midst. I don't know if they were separated when we packed them, or if they were separated out before that. But I kept finding one and then found the other. I was like, oh, those two go together. And so you got to go look for the other one. But pans out pretty good. Next up is Georgia history. Georgia as colony and state, 1938 ex-school library book. $45 for this one. So I think this is one of those situations where I undercut everybody to try to get that book sold and make sure I was the cheapest on, because it was one that this is a book that sells decently, but you want to be it's the cheapest up that's going to sell. So that's what I did, and that's what I got. And finally, right there. This set, I've got 12 of these books. The Further Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, just a handful of different authors taking with their own takes on Sherlock Holmes, who is one of my all-time favorite literary characters. Nothing beats the original Arthur Conan Doyle stuff, which I think everybody should read. Not just because they're good stories, but because they're a good way to help your brain work and notice things. And it's really helpful in doing this when you're looking through stuff and you see that's different. I wonder if that's not worth something. Type of thing. So using your brain to recognize stuff that's a little bit out of the ordinary, and that's usually where the money can be. So, wow, tons more books to list, tons more to go through. Let's take a look right quick. Let's see what we got. Oh, let's see, because I just pulled a handful out of a box. I got to take pictures of these. Let's see. Song and service book for ship and fuse. Value on these, I'm really not sure about right now because I looked them all up once, put them in, separated them out in boxes, and these came out of the boxes that I thought were worth something. So, song and service book for ship and field. Old hymnal stuff is always at least minimum worth looking up, and if I pulled it out like that, there was probably some value to it. These are interesting. Greg Shorthand books. Shorthand. Focus, Pinky. Focus. Thank you. Shorthand books. Real specific one. Old shorthand books occasionally do okay. There was about 4 or 5 in here. I've sold a couple, maybe more than 4 or 5, and I may need to lot the. I got another one I know I have up for sale, and I may pull it and list it and put all these together in a lot as shorthand books. But don't sleep on them. They're not worth a ton. We're not talking like these are going to be $50 or $60 books. But there's a handful of Greg Shorthand books that are worth listing every time, and they sell quick. So, but like they're $15, $20 books. I need a cup of coffee. And they're worth doing. So, this is fun. Old Tales of Greece. So, pretty old book and was worth putting up. It's going to be worth putting up. All right. A few more here. Let's see. Oh, this is fun. Boy Problem in the Home. This is some early child psychology book. If I recall. Let's see. I think that's what it is. The child's attitude, the parent's attitude, methods of government, government by punishment, government by reward. The various, raising boys. Let them loose, but keep the chain on them, which is hard. I got to. Eminent Americans, namesakes of the Polaris submarine fleet. I'm not sure what that's entirely about, but some sort of I think these are sort of some style of history books here. Let's see what else we got. The Franco-German relationship and the European Union. Weird long titles are going to go one of 2 ways. These are going to be worth nothing, or like there's such a limited print run that there's actually some value to these things. And I may have pulled that because I need to do some more homework with it. These are interesting. The Nimrod, 826 Nimrods and the Secret War in Laos. Stuff that addresses specific airplanes, military equipment. Particularly, like the more esoteric, the better. So there may not be a whole lot of books about 826 Nimrods. So that's what makes these a little valuable, is because you got your air historian guys who really want as many books about the stuff as they can get. This probably this one may not be worth a ton. No, this one is not a ton, but this is paperback about rules of engagement. Tim Collins. So I don't know if that's a soldier turned politician or not. Sea Warfare, 1939 to 1945. Again, some of these can be worth a little bit. Some of these worth a lot. So you can almost never tell which sometimes, unless other than looking up. Children's hymns, another hymn book that may be worth putting up. Particularly the rare kind of the better. Is this a hymn book, or is this just? This is like this is like hymnal histories, I think. So we'll see. Beachheads and Mountains, another sort of war account. No, this is poetry. So I wonder why this one is this one signed. This one's signed. It's a signed poetry book. The number of signed books I got is astounding, and hardly a lot of them really aren't worth the time. But I got like 2 full bins of signed books. So probably the best one was the first edition of the book God is My Co-Pilot. That was signed, and that was only like $40. So let's see. Life Extras, Archibald Rutledge, 2 copies of that. This is actually one I think that actually sells okay in various editions for some reason. And the last few I'll pull up. Through the Eye of the Needle, 68 first-person accounts of combat, evasion, and capture by World War II airmen. This one signed? Yeah. The Day I Owned the Sky by Robert Scott. This is the guy who wrote God is My Co-Pilot. And this is signed. So I will have to do some homework on that one to check. And Ato Tarawa. Okay, this is another signed book. I don't think this one's worth a ton, but I separated them out. I wanted to look them up again to see if if they were worth double check them, see if they're not worth listing, that sort of thing, and then get them up. So that's a sample of the type of stuff that I've been putting up. Bread and butter has been that $15 range. A lot of those, with that comes out to about $3 to $5 profit in my pocket, and that adds up. And then you get these $40+ hits, and that's really where the good money is. So that's how we rolled with it. So that's books. That's snowsuits. That's a cup of coffee. Y'all have a good one. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay frosty. Maybe. Because it ain't frosty here. It's warm.